Thank you, Dr. Shaji. It is really heartening to see your dedication. Thanks to the International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy, I'm sure all of you are doing a great job in conveying the prospects of homeopathy for numerous and different kinds of illnesses and sicknesses, not only COVID that is been taking the world at ransom today. So, we are going to talk about behavioral materia medica. Uh, we are talking about behavioral materia medica means understanding the remedy, how to give a particular remedy by understanding the behavior, the nature, that is the personality of the patient who is presenting to us in sickness. Now, behavior means we have to understand everything, the gestures, the tone of the voice, what are the words that the patient uses, and in which way the patient tells the physician his problem. So, everything, not only the pathology, not only the presentation, the clinical presentation, that is the pain, swelling, or fever, not only this, but how is the patient talking and telling that I have a problem. So this is what it means when I say behavioral materia medica. For all those who are not doctors, materia medica means our textbooks. Textbooks which talk about the pathological or the disease symptoms. We understand the disease symptoms of different remedies and try to match it with the presenting symptoms of the patient, and depending on the intensity, the clinical and the diagnostic values, we give a particular remedy to the patient. So here today I'm going to talk about a case of rheumatoid arthritis in a 58-year-old lady. This was a bedside history because I was already having COVID at that time. This was in September 2020, and the friend or the acquaintance actually called me up, telling me that she had been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis and given a lot of steroids, and she had developed some side effects from it. So whether we had any treatment in homeopathy to completely uproot her illness. These were the words that she used. Now this case, everything was done in Marathi. Marathi is the regional language of Maharashtra. We are staying in Mumbai, and hence the call was done on phone and the discussion was in Marathi. But I have prepared the case history in English, and I don't think I need to show the LSMC and all the analysis here because we have got all kinds of people here. So let us keep it very simple. So I will show you my slide that I've prepared.
Yeah, you can please share. And
Yeah,
also please limit your presentation up to 9:15 Indian time so that we
sure,
can wind up at exactly at
sure.
9:30.
We'll do that. Okay. I'm going to. So is the screen sharing enabled?
Yes, yes, you can share. Please
Thank
allow
you.
screen sharing. You can share, doctor.
Yeah. So can you see my?
Not yet.
Can you see it now?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I need help here. 1 minute.
Go to slideshow.
Okay.
Slideshow, doctor.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, we are talking about behavioral materia medica, understanding a remedy called hyoscyamus. So I want to first place my gratitude to my teacher, Dr. Milind Rao, who helped me become what I am today, whatever little I know about homeopathy, and whatever help and support today I give to my patients. I'm deeply grateful to Master Samuel Hahnemann, the doctor who gifted the world the homeopathic science, and Dr. Milind Rao, who made us doctors to be capable enough of treating and helping patients. So this is Dr. Milind Rao. This is me and my gratitude to Master Samuel Hahnemann. So is this good enough for all of you to see?
Yes.
Laptop, it is okay. I don't know in mobile.
Okay, so I'll read it out for all of you. So this is a 59-year-old lady. Let me know in case whatever you want to modulate the presentation style. I am completely open to it. This is something that I've already prepared. So this is a 58-year-old patient with presented with sudden onset of pain in the neck, the left shoulder, swelling and redness of the joints in the fingers. These are the joints. These are the joints that were involved, and they had swollen and they had become red. And because of the pain, she was not able to do her kitchen work, to wear clothes, turn the tap, open bottle to drink water. Nothing. She was not able to do that. So, and everything started suddenly when she lost the hearing in her left ear. So when she went to the doctor, they told her that it is something known as acute sensorineural hearing loss, and they gave her a lot of steroids. A lot of steroids means very high dose of steroids for 1 week, and it was given on an OPD basis. She had to go to the hospital, take the injection slowly, stay there for some time, and then once she felt better, she could come home. So she stays alone. Her husband passed away 8 years back. Her daughter children got married, so she stays alone. And because of this, she was a little depressed. Generally, she doesn't get depressed. I know her as a very positive, very happy and cheerful person. And when this happened, she called me. She told me that 1 month after she took the injections, she had developed the joint pains. So she got the tests done, her RA test, anti-CCP test, everything had come positive, and she was in a lot of pain. She told me that I have been praying to my Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna is a beloved god form in Hinduism, and she deeply believes that it is Shri Krishna who takes care of her when she is alone. And when she says that when I'm alone at home, when I sleep, when I go out, I always say, Shri Krishna, please take care of me. So she told me that. I was thinking, who should I contact? My son-in-law told me that, Mummy, you have to take homeopathic treatment and it will help you get rid of this problem forever. It will take time. He told her that it will take time, but it will be gone forever. So she called me and she said that when I was praying to Shri Krishna, he told me to talk to you, that is to me. And she said that I am very confident that you will be able to help me. Go to the next slide. The pain was a challenge for her because obviously she was not able to do her routine activities. Her investigations all showed that she was having rheumatoid arthritis. When we took the case and when I told her that definitely homeopathy can help you, you have to take it dedicatedly, and please do not take any other treatment, because generally when steroids are going on, the outcome of the treatment of homeopathy becomes confusing for the doctor to understand, because certain drugs like steroids mask the relief or the good work that is done by homeopathy. So we always advise our patients that when you are taking homeopathy, please do not take please do not start new treatment alongside. If they are already taking some treatment, then they are always advised not to stop them suddenly. So here she was just advised to take a dose of steroids daily and some painkillers like naproxen and so on. So we told her that please do not take any of these drugs at present. Homeopathy will definitely help you. What were her words? What did she say? Madam, I am sure I shall be all right very soon. I have created a timeline of 4 months to recover from the current situation. Therefore, and after that, I know that my body will gradually heal completely. I know that Shri Krishna and you will heal me completely. It is always very difficult to ask her questions because she is like a long distance super fast train, which goes at 120 and 200 kilometers per hour. She talks very fast and she's laughing, she's talking. So for us to ask her questions, we have to wait for her to take a breath. And at that time I asked her questions. So I asked her, what has happened in the recent past? I know that your child got married about 2 years back. Is there anything else that happened? She said, no, madam, I am completely fit and fine. I have no problem. I have no tension. There is nothing that can trouble me. But then, gradually, after she started talking about her family life, I realized that she had got a little depressed when her husband had passed away. She was only 52 years at that time. And it was a sudden death. He fell ill suddenly and within a week he was gone. So I asked her, is there anything else that is troubling you? Why you have, you know, been into this? She said that, madam, I don't know why I have got this illness. I can never be ill. I can never be sick. I am a very positive person. People who talk to me always tell me that, madam, when we talk to you, we feel very positive. I wake up at 7 o'clock. I practice my yoga, pranayam, vocal exercises. It takes me 90 minutes. And then I start walking within the house. I have great energy all throughout and it is maintained throughout the day. I generally don't feel tired. After this, then I start preparing my breakfast. I take a small break in there, and then I start preparing my lunch. I take very good care of myself. I am all alone, my madam. I have no one to take care of me, so I know that I have got to do it. Somehow, sometimes I feel that I should call you to stay at my place. We could talk so much and we could laugh non-stop to our heart's content. I always finish my work at home and then I am on the phone. Throughout the day, I am talking to my friends and laughing. Laughing is the exercise that I indulge in all day. I never tire of talking, but that doesn't mean that I neglect the housework. I am very perfect and punctual. My schedule is needlepoint perfect. It is planned to detail in advance. Whenever I have got a rehearsal for our performance, I am always there before time. I do not like when people reach late and I feel that they should value our time. I am very open. I am very candid. I cannot use my words correctly like you do. Madam, why I have developed this condition called rheumatoid arthritis? So I told her that stress causes such illnesses. In fact, any disease for that matter is caused by some stress or the other. She said, madam, I don't have any stress. Of course, I lost my husband at a very young age, but I don't keep brooding over it. I am a very positive person. She said that, madam, now that you are asking me, I remember that my partner, he cheated me. I had invested a significant amount of my savings in an investment. He told me that the money will be doubled. So I wanted all that money to give it to my daughter. I had saved it for her. But when I lost that money, I did not know how to answer my daughter because she knew that I had saved this amount and that someday she will ask me about this. But I had no answer. So I was feeling very guilty that I had done this. There is something wrong that I had done. And I did not want to file any court case because I don't like it, madam. I don't want to set my foot in the court hall. It is not appropriate for a lady. Eventually, with time, she started consoling herself that, okay, whatever has happened has happened. Now I have to come out of it and keep myself happy because it is not going to help me by getting worried about it. So then I gave her a remedy, and then I asked her, Madam, did you receive the courier? Because by that time the lockdown was continuing, and only the courier facility was on. So she told me, Madam, I got your courier, but I am not going to touch it for one day. I have sanitized it, I have sprayed sanitizer all over the courier parcel, and I am going to wait for one day before touching it. What if I get some infection? I don't want to get COVID. I have stopped going outside. I have got a person who gets everything to my place: vegetables, milk, fish, and everything. I don't go outside unless it is extremely essential, unless it is something that this person cannot do for me. She is extremely careful about taking any treatment. Whenever she visits a doctor, she always discusses the prescription, the medicines that were prescribed to her with some of her more friends who know about medicine, and she discusses it with other doctors also. And she says that I don't want to get any side effects from these medicines because I'm afraid that if I take some medicine, what if I get some major side effect? Then I will suffer more. I don't want to do that. Whenever she talks, she is also laughing a lot. So I have taken some rubrics now. I do not know, Dr. Shaji. Should I be discussing the rubrics that we have taken for prescription?
You can generally describe it in a short.
Okay. For all the doctors, I will show you my repertorial analysis. There are some rubrics that we will run very fast. High spirited, truth telling the plain, delusion wrong suffered, delusion wrong done he has, fear of being betrayed, cautious, laughing constantly, laughing spasmodically, fear of being injured, talking of business, talking of battles, positiveness, inciting others, contemptuous, desire to kill, industrious, and avarice. Now, these are the rubrics that I have taken. Most important rubric is high spirited. High spirited because she is a very, very energetic person. Whatever I told her to do regarding diet, sunlight, medicines, oil massage, everything she was doing. And within 1 or 2 months, she was feeling much, much better. Truth telling the plain because she always says whatever is there in her heart. She does not think. See, many people always think before they say anything because they feel that what if we hurt someone unknowingly? She does not do that. She says that whatever she has in her heart, she will say it is better to be truthful than to hide or to make a show of sympathy. Delusion wrong suffered because she felt that the partner had cheated her. Delusion wrong done he has because she felt that she had done wrong to her daughter because she had lost a major sale. Fear of being betrayed because she feels that whenever she does anything, she thinks twice that she should not get cheated. She should not fall in a trap. Cautious. She thinks many, many times before doing anything new, before taking major decisions. Laughing constant, laughing spasmodically is very obvious. Talking business about, she measures everything. This was one investment where she lost her saving. Otherwise, she's very, very careful with money, with spending. Whatever she does, she thinks twice about the pros and the cons, whether it will benefit her or whether it will create any loss. So that is business. Talking battles about, she was very confident. She said that I am going to win this, I am going to overcome this illness. It does not have the courage to put me down. I will win and I will be victorious. Positiveness, of course, the energy that she had, and she today, considering that she started the treatment in September, today she has resumed all her activities. She's much better. Inciting others. When she was telling me, Madam, I am very sure that you will treat me. There's very, very few people, very few patients come and tell us. Most of the times, the patients tell us, Madam, will this be all right? Madam, will I be all right? Is this curable? Are there any medicines for rheumatoid arthritis? What are the side effects of the medicines? They will ask us everything. But she used to tell me, I know you will treat me. I know you will heal me completely. So she was placing a lot of confidence and she was motivating the doctor to treat her. So it is a lot of help and support when the patient has got a lot of confidence in the doctor. So this is how I prescribe hyoscyamus. So this is basically a plant remedy. It's derived from a plant, and various sources of medicines are used to develop the homeopathic medicines, and every medicine has its own magic, has its own power. They are prescribed only after a detailed study, and irrespective of whatever the pathology is, we always give our best, and we definitely tell the patient about the prognosis. Sometimes certain cases are irreversible. For example, in rheumatoid arthritis, there are deformities, there is crippling, there are joint changes that cannot be reversed. In such cases, we tell the patient that certain changes cannot be reversed, but we can slow down the progression of the illness because it is an autoimmune illness. We can slow down the progress of this illness, and we can also, to a large extent, make it so much better for the patient so that these patients can resume their normal activities to a large extent. In case there are any queries, you can please ask me. I have finished sharing the case. In case there are any questions, I am open to that.
Doctor, we have a question and an answer session after finishing your presentation by 9:15 Indian time.
In fact, I have finished the case because I had prepared this considering that there will be a lot of doctors. So there was a lot of content, especially for the doctors. But since we have got people from different walks of life, I
Yeah.
think we can start the question and answer sessions